What's happening? Just sitting here today pondering, what's happening? What's happening to me? What's happening in the world? What's happening in the family? And just realising that what's happening now it's exactly that. Not an awful lot. Physically. Just talking into a mobile phone. Or, as they call it, doing a selfie. Or maybe is it selfing? There's a lot of talk these days about myself or the self. Or being identified as a self, as a physical body. And that's getting me to think, and of course that's very dangerous, as we know in today's terms, to think. Because if we really thought, we'd probably change things. But it got me thinking anyway, about this thing called self. You know, self-image, self-esteem, self-worth, myself, yourself, ourselves, whatever. There's a lot of talk, or has been a lot of talk, and is still a lot of talk about self. And what is the self? I know there's a lot of books written in it, about it. I've read a lot of them. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I just scouted over them and read them. But what I'm beginning to discover, or have discovered, is that when you're sitting, talking to yourself, myself, as I am now, there's not a lot happening. There's no anxiety. There's no fear. There's no worry. There's no depression. And there's not even any joy or happiness or laughter or anything like that. They're just, it's like I'm in neutral. Whatever neutral is. And I'm just wondering, who actually turned my head there, this head that's in this physical body, who actually turned the head to look over? I just looked over there to the garden, and even the movements, or everyday movements, or my everyday movements, I'm just wondering, is it me, this physical body doing them, or did they just happen? And it's even that action there of the eyes going somewhere else and observing and looking and seeing. Who's doing that? And of course, the common sense answer to that is the physical body. Me, I'm doing it, the physical body. But I'm beginning to realise, maybe it's old age, I don't know, or young age, but I'm beginning to realise, or maybe realise, does that mean to see with real eyes, not with these eyes here, but to see with the real eyes. Some people call that the inner eye, I think, the inner eye. To see with real eyes that maybe, just maybe, that this suit that I'm going around in, this body that's called Philip, maybe it's not taking me, or maybe it's not serving me. What is the word? Serving me. In what? In what way? In the best possible way. And when I'm saying serving me, that brings up the question of who is this me? This me that's actually sitting here now talking into this mobile phone as a body, as the physical body. And yet there seems to be an awareness or some sort of a knowing or something that there's more than the body. Because a lot of things happen in this body, and I don't think the body has anything to do with it. It'd be like saying, you know, like I'm going to grow my hair now an extra maybe inch today, and to think that that's going to happen. And yet we go around thinking that we grow our hair and that we grow our body. We can do that. We can distort our body. We know that by eating different things or not eating different things. We can change the shape of our body. But the actual involvement or the aging of the body, if you like, to its whatever age we are, like as I said there, just by growing our hair. But I know it's not me that's growing it. It's the body. Or is it? Is it this body? Or is it something different that's growing the hair? That's digesting the food? Because I know the way I eat sometimes, you know, I don't even give the body a chance, the actual organs of the body a chance to digest the food. But who's actually doing it? Is it the body? Is it the organs? So what drives them? What's the intelligence that drives this whole body system? Or is there one? What's it all about? What's the purpose of all this? A couple of weeks ago I woke up, or something woke me up, in the middle of the night, and I was lying there and I was pondering the question of what's this crazy world all about, or what makes it so crazy? And what makes all the different things happen, some good and some bad? What's orchestrating all that? And what's my involvement in it, if I've any? And very quickly an answer came back to me. Quickly, when I said that, I'd say instantaneously an answer came back. And here's what the answer said. Number one is a lack of self-love. So self-love, so that was talking about me, self-love. So obviously I could be talking about everybody maybe, but there was a lack of self-love. And number two was a belief in separation. So that got me to look at myself. And do I love myself on a daily basis? Do I even know what love means? Do I know what love is? And self-love, that's putting another label on it. So love is one thing, and then self-love. And then, of course, the second was a belief in separation. And I could see clearly, just lying there on the bed, in the dark of night, and a strange thing to say, but I could see clearly that a lot of the beliefs and a lot of the stuff I'd done in my life was based on those two conditions. And I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't aware of it. And of course I'm using language here all about self. Using the word I. I'm not aware. And maybe that ponders the question, who is this I? Is it a personal I, or is it something greater than the body? This body that's called Philip, that I always call I or me or my, and all them different. Is it pronouns? I don't know what it is or not. They're not yet pronouns or adjectives to it, to this me, my, mine. So that's what's happening here now. A lot of stuff coming in and out. I don't know if I could use the word thoughts. Probably, yeah, thoughts. Another label, thoughts, or thoughts. And then maybe I've asked the question a lot of times, are they my thoughts? I remember listening to a chap on YouTube one night, and he said that he sat in an AA meeting, and he was an ex-addict, drug addict, and an alcoholic. He said he used to always wonder how all these thoughts used to come visiting him. His thoughts, what he called them, my thoughts, because he claimed them as his. So he'd say, my thoughts, all these thoughts about himself. And then he noticed that when he was sitting in some of the sessions in AA with people in the groups, and people were talking about their story and their lives, that a lot of the thoughts that he thought were exclusive to him weren't. That a lot of the other people had those thoughts, his thoughts. So then he came to the assumption, or he came to a realisation, looking at it with realise, that maybe they weren't his thoughts. Maybe these thoughts were just thoughts that happened to come across his awareness or into his consciousness or whatever. I don't know what words to use for that. But he was explaining in that way, and he realised that either they were his thoughts or that they weren't. That they were just thoughts that, as I said, was going into consciousness. Because everybody else, not everybody else, but a lot of the people in the room that he was engaging with had the same or similar thoughts. So then, as I said, he came to the conclusion that they weren't his thoughts. And in that moment, that's just that one, pardon the pun, thought, or that one idea, that the thoughts weren't his, exclusively his, give him some form of release or freedom from being an alcoholic. Because he said that if they weren't his thoughts, then he was separate from them. They weren't his, they weren't mine, his, yours. You know those words that tie us to different things. So when I say something's mine, that's an attachment, it ties me to it. So he said then they weren't his thoughts. So that actually separated the thoughts from him. And that got him, I think from that, he said, from that evening, or from that meeting, he never drank or needed a drink or a drug again. So, and the urge even to go back to drink, the urge that was driving that, the compulsion to drink or take drugs just completely vanished with that one realisation. How do we get onto that subject? Maybe it was that thoughts coming through my mind and my head. Or was it me saying that? Who actually spoke those words? Did I sit down and think about them? Did I make up all those words in my mind before I put them out? What actually happened? See you next time.